in this side of the world, of course, the implications for liftoff in early 2023 matter for markets here in Asia, particularly emerging markets. But are you more concerned about the regulatory headwinds for China in terms of asset allocation?
Yes, I think we still need to see, because right now people are focusing more on internet. I think probably the news has been discounted a lot, and we are seeing some stabilization in that sector. But for me, I think the concern would be on the property side, because the high yield bond market actually had been quite bad for China, and I think developers would be quite difficult to refinance the debt. And also for the selling process of the residential projects, actually they would slow down a lot because of the difficulty to get mortgage, and also they need to lengthen the cycle of selling. So I think we need to see the old economy side. And for the new economy side, actually, I think it is stabilizing a little bit, right? But I think the headwinds actually will still persist for a while.
So instead of China, you're looking at some of these markets with less regulatory risk. They include the likes of Korea, Taiwan, and India. Can you talk us through your picks in those markets?
Oh, actually, we are taking the whole market as a whole, because Taiwan and Korea actually would benefit a lot from the semiconductor sector. So we like the semiconductor names there, but I think the index actually is heavily represented by the tech sector. So this is easier to play the whole market index, I think, for them. And for India, actually, I think the consumer market actually is gaining interest, and also we are seeing some big tech IPO comings in that area. So I think people would still like that market for a while because of the weakness in China, especially.
With now the Delta variant spreading across Asia, are you a bit more cautious in these casino names as well around Macau?
Well, actually, I would take a contrarian view. We are trying to accumulate some casino names on the current weakness, because Macau actually is a very small city, and they are testing the whole population now. So very likely we would have the situation to be under control, say, for a month's time. So the disruption in earnings actually would not be too long. The actual concern would be in China. I think right now the Delta variant also is causing some outbreak in China right now. So that probably may cause some concern whether Macau and China actually would still be connected in a short period of time. So I think that is the concern, but I think the disruption actually would not last long. And we have seen Macau stock rebounding quite strongly earlier in this year. So it would still be a good reopen trade if things pan out as expected. So they have a very aggressive plan for trading. So I think hopefully they would be okay to control the situation.
Alex, despite the regulatory risks across China, it's been really interesting to see some sectors still benefiting. We were talking earlier about the sportswear side of things, with Li-Ning and Anta Sports really surging this year, given that we do have the Beijing Olympics coming up. Are there any more investable sectors that are a bit safer from risk?
So first of all, people like Tetronics because this is the best company in Hong Kong to represent their exposure in US. And they have very good brand names operating there. So people, I think, would continue to like this one because of the diversification need. And then I like current resources beer as well because the current weakness is triggered by the weakness in Multi and probably also Budweiser. But for Multi, I think the concern is on its price increase power. So I think China resources sector does not have that problem. And also, as compared to Budweiser, I think they are more oriented towards the high premium beer market. So I think the situation would be different. So the current weakness actually would be a good time to pick up. And then finally, I like GDS. This is a contrarian as well. Because this is the biggest data center operator in China. And I think Chinese company actually will still move towards cloud computing. So this is a good time to buy, I think.